Today we're going to do a quick map skills refresh on something that might be an actual skill out there with a real name, but I call it multi-map referencing, using multiple maps, referencing the same spot on each one to get different sets of information. So why do we do this? Well, we got a few main reasons. One, compare and contrast. Shows us multiple maps. We're looking for the same place. We can compare and contrast very easily. Two, helps explain the theme of place, what characteristics make somewhere unique. And the other theme of geography is helps explain human-environment interaction. We can compare human features with physical features very easily. So these are some reasons why we would use this. The real question is, how do we do this? So the biggest piece of advice I have is to simply keep it simple and find what you need on one map, and then try and find the same exact spot on another map. That's the core skill here. That's what we're trying to do. So here's our example, Green Bay, Wisconsin. We can see Green Bay, only city labeled on this map. What we're going to look for is defining features, things that will help us locate Green Bay, even if it's not labeled on a different map. So where is Green Bay and what stands out as far as what's next to it? So it's a coastal city. It's right in the crook of this bay. I don't know if crook's the right word, but whatever. This is the Bay of Green Bay. This is the Door Peninsula, and it's right where it wraps around there. So we're looking for the exact same thing. So here's a blank map of Wisconsin. You try. Can you find Green Bay even though it wasn't labeled here? This is me letting you look for it on your own. All right, hopefully you found that bay right there, the peninsula wrapping around, and you know that it would be right at this point. When we see them right next to each other, maybe it's a little bit easier to imagine, but that is the spot. So now a little bit more tricky. Here is a thematic map, watersheds. This map shows all the different watersheds from different rivers and lakes around Wisconsin. So we're looking for what watershed Green Bay is in. So again, we're looking for the defining features. Here's the peninsula, wrap around. It would be right at the base. That's this light blue one called the Lower Fox. So the watershed is the Lower Fox. There it is again, easier to see side by side. But what if there are no clear defining features? Take Atlanta, Georgia, for instance. It's not on the coastline. It would be easier if it was Savannah down here, but it's not. So what we would do here is trace imaginary lines toward other defining features. It's kind of like finding where latitude and longitude intersect. So here are some imaginary lines where I just took them in opposite directions and crossed right at Atlanta. Now, if I was looking at a map of the Southeast, I would use this same concept. If I extended this line, you could see it's right in this curve on the Florida Panhandle. And up here, you can see it's just to the west of where the Tennessee-North Carolina border is. So on here, I would find those exact points. I can find there, and it would run up to there. If I'm looking at the Alabama-Georgia border, there's this huge straight part that runs from there to there. It's about halfway through that line. And over on the South Carolina border, we can sort of follow the curves and figure out roughly how far along it is on South Carolina. So my imaginary lines would follow those boundaries. What if the other states don't exist there? I would still use the same strategy, still draw my imaginary lines, but I might just go off of what I know from Georgia's boundaries. I would estimate that this is about the halfway point on Georgia's northern boundary. So we need to go a little west of that. Again, I can take this straight part before it starts curving in and out and guess that it's about halfway between there as well. So now I have these sets of imaginary lines over on these. If I drew them out, would look kind of like that. And even though the maps are different sizes, even though the maps have different stuff surrounding them, I end up with roughly the same thing. So to recap, we are using multiple maps. We are referencing them against each other for compare and contrast. This can show us different sets of information all at once with the same spot. And we have some tools to find those spots, even if they're not clear. Hope this helps. If not, you can rewind, watch again. Good luck in all of your multi-map referencing endeavors.